Central Coast Mariners 3. Macarthur FC 3. It's a result that is hard to say. And look, it wasn't a, I was going to say hard game to watch. It wasn't necessarily a hard game to watch. It was a fantastic game from a neutral point of view. Let's just get that out of the way first of all. But dude, this game. This is the most emotional I've been at a game, or even after a game for a long time. Easily this season, this is the most emotional game from a Mariners fan point of view, in my opinion. That's saying a lot considering we played a cup final, 4 or 5 days ago. So, look, man. So, heading into this game, of course, we start from the top. Lineups looked promising. I was happy that Sai was starting. Of course, Nisbet starting as well. Cummings making his home debut. And straight off the bat, just want to say Jason Cummings was really good tonight. I thought he was impressive. Looked very lively. Wanted to get involved. Was very active in attack. And in the build-up play, he was dropping back a lot, looking to hold the defender, win the ball, bring his teammates in. I thought he had a great game. Oli Bizanik, fantastic as well. And aside from that, from a Macarthur point of view, it was very interesting. Macarthur, I was surprised with this. Macarthur tweaked their tactics for this game, man. And you can only imagine it was specifically to deal with the tactics of the Central Coast Mariners. They basically matched our formation. They basically played close enough, at least. It was more of a 4-2-3-1, if anything, sort of like a 4-4-2, with De Villa playing just in behind Giano. And I think it worked for the Bulls tonight, mostly. Look, dude, it was a really entertaining game, as I mentioned, from a neutral point of view. And just hectic to think how... It's crazy to think how the game played out, man. And it's crazy to think how the game played out and how it could have gone and how it almost went. And we have to talk about it. Man. So first of all, start of the game, I thought we were on the front foot from an early stage. And we're looking good. And Tommy Orr, though. Tommy Orr scores an absolute worldie of a goal, man. Absolute worldie of a goal. And I put out a tweet saying, why couldn't you do that for us, Tommy? Why couldn't you do that for us, Tommy Orr? Dude, what a fantastic strike from Tommy Orr. I have to give that to him. And then soon later, Adrian Mariappa scoring his first goal in the A-League. And... really disappointed with that defending from Central Coast Mariners' point of view. Usually at set pieces, we are quite solid. We are quite defensively stable at the back when it comes to set pieces. And we weren't at this point. Lewis Miller, I think, was maybe the man just on his heels. Mariappa just finding the space and an easy strike to just send it into the back of the net. 2-0 down from there was not a good position to be in, and not a position I thought we would have been in heading into this game. I was relatively confident heading into this game. I thought that we would have been leading things on the scoreline. I thought we're leading the way on the park. It wasn't a top performance. It was by no means our best performance as well, but because there were a lot of sloppiness, especially in the midfield area. Max Ballard at times losing possession. Just wayward passes sort of hampering us again, especially in defense and in midfield. Which wasn't good, and that allowed Macarthur to get into the game. Of course, Marco Renya, I think it was eventually awarded as an own goal. That goal to bring it back to 2-1 at halftime as well. Dill's in here, says robbed. Stephen says, why is Coast Watch Footy live now? Well, Stephen, we are live right now because we are talking about this game. Macarthur 3, Central Coast Mariners 3. And this is the live reaction right here. Central Coast Mariners for life. In the live chat says, would have helped if the ref had a brain, but it's all good. And we will be talking about the referee very, very shortly, man, because, we have to talk about that. The elephant in the room as well. But look, second half, I was optimistic. I was like, cool, we're only a goal behind. It's all right. We had created good chances in that first half. Keep that momentum going. Good substitutions to come on. We'll turn it around. And we did. 2 massive penalties. And dude, that first one, I was fuming, man, because the referee didn't call it initially. The Cummings going down, I thought it was a clear penalty, clear as daylight. He's clearly clipped. How the referee doesn't call it in real time, I have no idea, because we've seen a lot of dubious penalties awarded. This is one of the easiest penalty decisions, and I was screaming, man. I was in the stands and I was screaming, and I just certainly got a bit carried away. But yeah, seeing some more comments in here. and Kalolo shocking. Najjar should have been sent off. Unlucky results. Tom in the chat says, what's the deal with Maresh and Macarthur? It was out of order. Dillstar also says Benny wasn't great. Muller was class. So, yeah. And, dude, let's talk about it. So, substitutions. Muller comes on at in a central midfield position, which I was surprised with. I didn't expect him to see him playing in that sort of position at all for us. But it worked. It worked. Nikolai came on and he showed his class. He showed his class and was influential in us sort of maintaining the front foot for most of that second half, I thought. But, yeah, the 2 penalties. Jason Cummings, that easier penalty award when Jason Cummings went down. Ollie stepped up to take it. Fantastic stuff. That level at 2-2, and then from there, late on, Mateus Maresh stepping up, and I was worried, man. I was like, why is Ollie not taking the second one? He's already scored. Mateus Maresh steps up and slots it home to take the scores to 3-2, and then late on, Craig Noon. What is it with opposition teams scoring absolutely worldies against Central Coast Mariners? We saw 2 in the FFA Cup final. Jason Davidson hits a freak of a free kick. And then Chris Economy hits one of the sweetest volleys you'll ever see. And then in this game, Tommy Orr, former Central Coast Mariners player, just volleys it first time from outside the box. And then Craig Noon does in one better. In my opinion, I was actually sitting directly behind Craig Noon when he hit that strike, and I couldn't believe it. Like that is a 1 in a 100 chance goal, man. 1 in a million. What am I saying? It's a 1 in a million chance goal, dude. To hit that first time, to get the right amount of swerve on it, because the angle's so tight to get that past Mark Berighetti, and he did it. Dude. It's incredible in these last 2 games how these incredible goals that are getting scored against us. And again, it goes to show, the credit to Mariners defense. So aside from that set piece goal, the Mariappa goal, overall, it's good stuff defensively. And again, defensively, for much of this game, we were solid. But there's a couple of things we have to talk about. And the first one that we have to talk about is a Central Coast Mariners player who is simply underperforming at the moment. And you guys have brought him up in the chat, and I'm glad you have, actually, because I was thinking this watching this game, and you guys have brought it up. A couple of people have brought it up already. Benny and Kalolo needs to be dropped from the squad immediately. Benny and Kalolo can't feature in the match squad on against Perth Glory on Sunday. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that for me. Benny and Kalolo comes on at halftime, and yes, at times shows drive getting forward, and he's got pace, but is sloppy on the ball, wayward passes, poor decision making in and around the box, and on top of all that, already I was getting frustrated as a fan watching him give the ball away. He's at fault for Craig Noon's goal, for switching off, for watching the ball, for looking at Stormer, thinking, are you going to go for him? Are you going to go for Craig Noon? Switches off, and Craig Noon's there, completely unchallenged to hit the sweetest volley he's ever hit in his life. Benny and Kalolo needs to be dropped from the side. On top of that fact, we have one of the fastest players in the A-League sitting on the sidelines in Matt Hatch. And on top of that, you could add more attacking players to that list when we have Damien Sekenis, Harry McCarthy, Manny Agwek, Garen Kowal. Give these guys a run over Benny and Kalolo. We bring him in for France, from France's 3rd division. If you're going to go all the way to the 3rd division in France to pick out a winger, he better be good. He better be A-League level. Benny Kalolo's not A-League level. We've learned that, and this isn't just a one-off. Go back and watch my FFA Cup live reaction after that. In that live stream, I spoke about Benny and Kalolo. We had a fantastic chance where Louis Miller crosses the ball inside. Benny and Kalolo's there in the box and just air swings it. You can't miss chances like that in a cup final. And Benny just consolidated this with his performance tonight. It was very poor. And I've been so positive about every play in this Mariners squad so far this season. But Benny and Kalolo's performance tonight was not up to scratch. And it's at the point now where Nick Montgomery, who's had such a fantastic start to his A-League career, such a fantastic start, going to a cup final and continuing the fantastic form that Alan Stajic brought to this team. He has to make the hard decisions now. And in my opinion, the correct decision would be to leave Benny Cololo out of the squad altogether. Look, yes, whether he comes back in later on, whether he needs to step up his game. He needs to step up his game in order to do that. And again, I just want to reiterate how much I love Benny Cololo. And I have to pull this up because for those that didn't see, this was at, there's me and Benny. So I just want to say, look, I love Benny as a guy. This is in Mudgee. This is in Mudgee just after Benny and Cololo scored the Mariners, the first Mariners goal of the season. I love Benny. I was so excited when he came to the club. He seemed like a really great character, great personality, and he was interacting with the fans in that game at his first ever game, scored the goal to take us through the round of 16 in the FA Cup. But it would be the same for any player who's underperforming. I think Harry Steele should be starting. I think Max Ballard should be benched. I think Maxie's in his last couple of performances has been underperforming. But Benny and Cololo, man, especially when we have Matt Hatch. Especially when you have Matt Hatch, another left midfielder out there as well. Needs to be dropped. We love Benny. Dude, and we want him to improve. We just have to keep the standard high. We have to keep the standard high if we want this club to succeed. I think the reason why I get so passionate about it is because I desperately do not want us to fall anywhere near where we were, 2, 3, 4 years ago, and that time during the Mariners at this club was all about poor player performances, and Benny and Cololo's performance reminded me of that, just poor all over. Yes, let's talk about some positive stuff. Theo Robinson's headband, which is a great name. In the live chat says, I wanted to shout out Miller. He's been very good this season. Lewis Miller, fantastic again, and so positive down that right-hand touch line. Came off, I think he was pulling up with some cramp in his hamstrings. Late in that game, Stormer had to come on. But Lewis Miller, so positive, fantastic. In my opinion, developing into one of the best right-backs in the competition at the moment. Fantastic stuff. Jacob Farrell, a little bit off his game tonight. I thought this was his poorest game so far. He wasn't bad by any means. He had some really good interventions. Clearing the ball out of the box as always. Committed in defense. But yeah, man, yeah, just dude. And we should focus on the positive things. Nikolai Mola again, positive. Marco Renya at times sloppy. Some of his passes were on. He had some great switches of play, but again, some of it was sloppy. But it was interesting to see as well how Marco was sort of dropping off a little bit more compared to Jason Cummings, who was sitting a little bit higher. And look, from a Macarthur point of view, I mean, it felt very similar to that elimination final last year. Just really close stuff. Both teams with chances. Macarthur were breaking down the end there. And honestly, there was one chance there. I think it was Lockie Rose in the box. Could have won it for the Bulls. So look, if I take myself out of the game and the emotion out of it, a draw is probably a fair result. But look, for the Mariners now, this is now a testing time for Nick Montgomery, because he really now has to, as I said earlier, make the hard decisions, but really bring this group together and knuckle through these harder times, because we started the season so positively, even though we lost a couple games in those early rounds against Macarthur, against Wellington. We've got to really strengthen together and make sure we don't fall away, because this is now, if you want to include the cup final, it's 4 games without a win for the Coast after we built some good form just previously to that. Tom on the live chat says Cummings had some good hard low shots. He really shows some strength. Yeah, his strength, his ability to hold up defenders. There wasn't many times where he got bundled over too often. He did well tonight. And look, I don't want to hamp on about it, but the refereeing display tonight was not up to scratch. And if you watch my content a lot, you'll know that I tend not to go for referees that much, talk about refereeing displays that much, just because, we know what to expect. There's always going to be, rubbish decisions that we don't agree with. But tonight, but tonight, it's not just a Mariners point of view, but there was decisions against Macarthur. There was decisions against both teams that were just ludicrous. And what I noticed tonight is that every time a player went down, every time a player hit the ground, the referee would call it a foul, regardless of what team it was. If you went to the ground, the referee called it a foul. That's what I noticed, man. That's what I noticed. And from there as well. So the other thing, man, there was a scuffle around that hour mark. Whether there could have been a red card in there, I didn't see it. But look, there was certainly a lot of fight and passion in this game. But look, as I mentioned earlier, that penalty shout, the Jason Cummings penalty shout, an easy one to give. It's good that he gave it in the end, hey? Good that he gave it in the end. deal. Can I give a quick player ratings? I'll do my 3-2-1. I don't like doing individual player ratings for every single player because I don't think it's fair doing that after one viewing because you sort of really have to keep an eye on 11 players. And I don't know how people do that, man. I don't know how people can do that. So look, 3-2-1. 3. Look, man. 3 for Oli Bozanic. It's so easy. I mean, steps up with a crucial penalty to level the game and is so strong and consistent in midfield. So it's an easy one. 2 for Kai Rolls. Made one mistake where he gave the ball away in midfield. Apart from that, didn't do much wrong. Again, it's the same guys. It's Bozanic and Kai Rolls, man. They're so important to the club. And 1 for Jason Cummings. I thought he was very impressive tonight. Just didn't manage to find his goal, but had a few decent shots. Good build-up play. I think he's going to be a good addition to this team. So excited to see what he can do with more confidence and more game time in this league as well. Theo Robinson says, I was watching on TV, but I thought the referee was pretty good. Couple of poor decisions, but better than normal. Okay, it's interesting. It's funny. I'm usually the opposite. I'm usually like okay with refereeing displays, but tonight I was not impressed at all. Yeah. Pumpkin Vods is in here, says, bro, my voice is gone from the game. Me too. You and me both. Just about holding on here. Tom says, I don't want to be the bad guy because we lost, but referees are starting to abuse their power. It's more about them than the games. I don't know about that. I don't know if I'd go as far as to say that. But it is an interesting point you bring up there. Jacob says Mariners bottled it. I wouldn't agree with that. I don't think Mariners bottled it. We did so well to come back, man. We could remember Mariners were down 2-0. Mariners were down 2-0. So look, a draw was a fair result in the end. To be fair, like had we won that, it would have been a big snatch. It would have been a big snatch coming back from 2-0 down. So yeah, I don't know if I go as far as say Mariners bottled it. Look, I'm disappointed we didn't get the win considering we were in that position, and we shouldn't have conceded that goal at the end. We should have defended more valiantly towards the end there. But yeah, man. Stevens in the live chat says. The Central Coast Mariners will win the league this year. Look, I even as it stands now as a Mariners fan, as the most optimistic of Mariners fans, I don't think it'll happen. I think we will win finals, but yeah. Jacob says, disappointed by the result, by the Coast bottled it in my opinion. Pumpkin Vod says, I'm surprised there was no red cards. I thought there could have been a red card for the Jake McGing challenge at the end. There was a challenge that Jake McGing did just right into the back. I think it was Maresh. It was on the right-hand touchline. Jake McGinn just sliding in, just completely reckless from behind. And for me, it's a red card. Jacob says, can't keep accepting draws and honourable losses. It's time to finally win games. Yes, 100% agree. 100% agree, yeah. This is a turning point now. This is where Monty's tested now. This is where Montgomery's tested now for sure. And it's good you bring up that, actually. We should now be really looking at Montgomery to see what he does now. So this is the first time where the team's really been tested. 3 A-League games without a win, 4 if you include the Cup final. And again, decent performance. Like there hasn't been any of these games where we've been absolutely outplayed, I thought. I think we've been in all of these games. And we showed it again tonight. We were in this game and we were in a winning position at one stage. But it was just dramatic stuff, man. It's just dramatic stuff. But yes, I agree. Especially how competitive this league is, Mariners need to be winning games like this, and we should be beating this Macarthur FC side at home. We should be, man. Tom says it's the same old story. Mariners play amazing, but the other team turns into Prime Madrid with those worldies. Yeah. Pumpkin Vod says the McGing challenge made people in the stadium erupt, chanting off, off, off. Yeah. I saw it live. I saw it live. I saw it on the replay. It's a red card. Why the VAR doesn't step in, I don't know. But for me, it's a red card. Theo Robinson says, we need to win on Sunday. Perth are terrible. Perth aren't terrible, man. Perth aren't terrible. It might look like it, but looking at the table, they've only played 7 games. So they have a ton of games in hand. And even though they have played 7 games, but they've only conceded 6 goals. Defensively, they're pretty good. But the thing with the Perth Glory game, I'll touch on that briefly now. You can check out the round preview predictions video that came out earlier today, if you want to check out my thoughts on the game. previewing that Perth Glory game. But it's going to be where the Perth can get the strongest lineup on the field because they've been riddled with COVID lately, hey. Stephen says the A-League needs good refs. Of course, goes without saying. Jekka says, last week was supposed to be a turning point. Got to get some wins on the board. All Monty has done is beat MPL sides and an undermanned Sydney team. Now he'll be tested. I think we've done more than that. Hopefully defense gets sorted. I think defensively is where we've been best. Kai Rolls, Dan Hall, Mark Birigitti's been strong. But tonight was an exception. Same as well against Melbourne City a few weeks ago. Yeah. But look, the wins against Sydney FC, Western Sydney Wanderers, we were definitely a stronger team. I thought we were the better team against Newcastle Jets round 1. Even the loss against Wellington Phoenix round 2, I thought we were the better team. 2-1, we were unlucky to lose that one. Macarthur FC round 3, we were right with them the whole way through. So and look, a really strong cup run to get through to a cup final. Yeah. Dill, this is a good question. Do you think Benny will get back to how good he was? Like how he was against Newcastle. It was annoying. It was annoying. We booed De Silva. Yeah, I mean, with the emotion of the game, I mean, it's easy to get carried away against former players. Look, I hope so. Man. I hope so. Like he showed in that Newcastle game, specifically. Yeah, it was probably his best game, wasn't it? That he can show up and take defenders on, be dangerous. But maybe being dropped from the squad is the reality check that he needs to make sure that he keeps on top of his game. Because yeah, I thought it wasn't good. Yeah. Someone says the atmosphere in the Yellow Army was incredible. Where were you sitting? I was in General Mission. Yeah, really good noise from the Yellow Army. Obviously, it was a smaller crowd tonight, being a midweek game, but yeah, we heard them loud and clear. Okay. So 3-1 votes. Just to recap: Pizanic 3, Kai Rolls 2, Jason Cummings 1. Thought it was great performance as well from Dan Hall, Lewis Miller, of course, in defence. But yeah, man. Cameron's in the live chat says, I said 0-0, kind of regretting it now. Yeah, went the opposite way, didn't it? Yeah. Julian's in the live chat says, very interesting game tonight. For me, honestly, Central Coast Mariners looked very good. Yeah. Second half, we were certainly a better team. Nikolai Muller comes on, makes a difference. But yeah, man. Pumpkin Vod says, to be honest, it took 2 worldies from Macarthur to draw. So we were on top of them in the second half. Yeah, I agree. We were on top of them in the second half. And yeah, there's two worldies. Jacob says Jason Cummings is solid. Yeah, man, he's looking real good. Hey, like again, it's good that he's come in and play. He's playing his part. Like he's fulfilling his potential already. He's not taking any time to settle in. He's just missing the goal. He obviously got the goal against Sydney FC, which is fantastic. So unlucky for him not to find the back of the net here. He could have had a couple of decent chances. So, yeah, man, I think he's going to be a really good addition to the Central Coast Mariners side. But look, guys, what do you guys make of this result overall? What do we make of the Mariners at the moment, where they're sitting? Currently still in 8th place on the ladder. It's tricky stuff. Of course, so many games still in hand. So look, it's not doom or gloom. I'm not saying it's doom and gloom time. And look, we drew this game. It wasn't a loss. A loss would have been a different story. I'd be much more depressed. Sai got a West Class tonight. West Class, yeah. I like Sai, man. I like Sai. I think he brings something different, and I think he should continue to start in games. Jacob says, is Cummings played in the cup final? Who knows? Yeah, man. That's what we're all wondering. Hey, he could have made a difference with some of those big chances that we had towards late in that cup final. He could have been the one to put them away, man. Yeah. Your Wellington versus Victor prediction was a bit off. What did I predict? I don't think I predicted that game, did I? What did I predict for that game? I don't think I did because the predictions video came out today. So I don't think I had a prediction for that game. I think we all expected Victory to win. Tom says Rolsey has come far as a player. I remember when he was a sub. Now he's a star player. Really worked hard. Yeah, dude. I mean, for me, I name like in the live chat. Name for me a player who's been more improved in the A-League in recent years. Kai Rolls stands well above everyone, man. Like to think where he was before, he was part of this leaky Mariners defense who had the worst defense in the competition. and now he's arguably the best centre back in the league. It's incredible, and he's getting Socceroos calls up away. Socceroos calls up as well. Yeah, man. Theo says we will make finals. Adelaide will fall away. Funnily enough, out of all the teams that fall away, I don't know if Adelaide will be one, man. I think if anyone's going to fall away, it'll be Macarthur. The team that we didn't manage to beat tonight. 4-1 victory. The 4-1 victory's prediction is for their game this Saturday against Jets. Yeah, I think Victory will get a big win this Saturday against Jets. Jacob says Mariners need to get some wins in the next few weeks. Yeah, some massive games, man. Perth Glory. Of course, the Wanderers game next week's been postponed again. So Perth Glory, Adelaide United away as well. These are tough games, man. We really have to, because we have a bit of a run of away games. We play the two Melbourne sides across what I think it's 4 days away there down in Melbourne. So those games will be tough. We have to win Sunday. We have to win Sunday. I'll round out this live stream by saying that, man. Mariners have to win this Sunday against Perth Glory, because there's some tough away games. Away to Adelaide, away to Victory, away to City, man. Yeah, dude. Which team do you support in the league? In case it wasn't clear by the shirt in the background, and I think where's the scarf? What's the scarf? The mighty. Oh, there's a scarf back there. Can't move, man. Central Coast Mariners, my friend. But guys, a dramatic game, a dramatic result, an entertaining game for the neutral with some thrilling goals, some incredible goals. For my Central Coast Mariners, overall, I feel mixed with the performance because we were so close to a win. With the performance, I'm happy with it. So close to the win. So disappointing not to get it. Some really disappointed specific player performances that I think need to be addressed in the coming weeks. It'll be interesting to see what team Monty picks for the game on Sunday. These guys, man. These guys are we're looking a little bit tired towards the end of the game as well. Xander's in here as well. Says that game was so weird yet good. 2 penalties, own goal, last minute equaliser. It had everything, didn't it? Had everything. Melbourne Victory, given recent league form, is not favourites anymore. I don't know. I'm still backing them, man. I'm still backing Victory to go all the way. You are right, though. They have been slipping a little bit in the league, and that loss against Phoenix didn't help, hey? Go the Mariners. Have you ever asked for any of the Central Coast Mariners their shirts before? No, I haven't. Bad ref, yeah. Look, it'd be interesting to see whether he's appointed to any games next week, because look, some of the decisions that he made tonight. Some of the decisions, man. Especially that red card, man. I want to bring up that Jake McGing tackle at the end, man. Should have been a red. To slide him from the back, so dangerous, man. So dangerous. We're out of position for the third goal, unacceptable. Yeah, it was a confusing moment with Storm Rue and Benny Cololo was over there. And then dude, Mark Birighitti just blowing up too. I think he was going off at Mark Birighitti absolutely going off at Benny Cololo. I thought he was going to punch him for a second. What else are we saying here? Does the keeper need to take some blame? Maybe. What, for that third goal? Maybe. It's a good point. Look, it'll be good it's going to be a very educational experience, I think, especially after this game, to watch the replay. I'm going to watch the replay that later on when it gets up in Paramount Plus. Assess these goals, assess the performance a bit more in depth. I might have some more clearer feelings. But obviously, this live reaction is very much an emotion-packed reaction as well. Tom says the Mariners have been through so many traumatic performances and so many unlucky moments during this club's history. We're the strongest fan base ever. Look, dude. I mean, as they say, I think it was Simon Hill during the commentary in the 2013 Grand Final said the smallest club with the biggest heart. Smallest club with the biggest heart, which is the best way to put it. Beers was great. Hard to stop those goals. Yeah, I mean, in the end, we probably have to put it down to that. I mean, Tommy Orr, especially that Tommy Orr goal. I mean, he just placed it perfectly. It was incredible. And then Craig Noon hit that volley so sweetly too as well. Xander says, how come every time I'm here and you're watching Sydney and we lose, the whole chat turns on me? We're doing it, of course. Actually, if those want to catch it, we're doing a live watch along here on YouTube for this Saturday, Sydney FC against West United game, which I'm very excited for. That should be a good game, man. Saturday night. It's on free to air if you're in New South Wales. All right, guys, I'm going to jump off there. It's an emotional time at the moment. But look, hopefully the Mariners can get a big win against Perth on Sunday, because my goodness, do we need it before heading into a long run of away games. Have a fantastic evening and weekend, guys, and I'll see you